So hello guys, today we are going to build a Instagram clone. So this is our first home page. So in our home page we have the suggested friend. We have we can like, and if we want to see a comment, then we can click the comment, and then we can see the comment. We can like, dislike, and do all sorts of thing here. And this is our first part. So in the next part, we are going to build a search and explore page. And this is not a normal clone. In this clone, we are going to build a algorithm where we are going to rank post based on the user like and comment. Okay, so this kind of algorithm we are going to build on this application. So if you want to learn that, follow me. So let's start with our front end page. Okay, so let's go. Let's create our new project. So npx create a React app. So our app name is Instagram. So yeah, so it takes a little bit time. Let's go in our project folder. So this is my project folder. So I'm going to copy this icon or images. If you want the icon and images, go in description below. I'm going to give it a link and go and download the icons or image. Okay, so let's cut this. Now let's go back in our VS Code. Okay, so first I'm going to remove default code from here. So let's remove this default code. And now what I'm going to do is first we are going to create one components folder components, and inside this component we are going to okay, so inside this component I'm going to build a sidebar. So let's write a sidebar, and inside this sidebar let's create a sidebar.js and sidebar.css. rfc, let's import our css. Sidebar.css, and let's okay, yeah. So now let's go back, and before that what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another uh, folder, and the folder name is page. Okay, so let's write a pages, and inside this page I'm going to create a home page. Home.jsx and home.css. Okay, so let's write rfc, and let's import our css here too. So in our home page, let's write a sidebar. Let's import a sidebar, and also we are going to build a right bar. So sidebar for this icons, or right bar for our post, or this container. Okay, so let's go in our component, and let's write a right bar, right bar dot js, or right bar dot css. Let's write refc, and we are going to import css. right bar dot css. Okay, so now let's go back in our app.js, and here I'm going to import my home page first, and let's go inside the home, and now I'm going to import my right bar. Okay, so this is my right bar, and now let's create a one div again. Okay, and again I'm going to create a new div, and I'm going to wrap this right bar, and now let's go in our top again, and here I'm going to create another div. Okay, sorry for that. Let's format this code. Yeah, so now let's give it a class name. So our class name will be uh, right now we are in our home page. So let's write a home sub container. Let's copy this. Let's run our CSS, and then let's give it a display will be flex. Display will be flex. Okay. Let's go in our home again, and here let's give it a class name, and our class name will be home sidebar. And let's go here, and let's give it a class name. So our class name will be right bar dot no right bar home right bar. Okay, so let's write a home right bar. I'm going to copy this. Let's go now CSS again, and first I'm gonna give it a flex. So flex will be 0.5 or 6, and let's write a home right bar, and let's give it a flex. Flex will be 1 or 2 maybe. Let's write a 1 first, and let's go now home. And did we write the name correct or not? Yeah, so let's go back, and yeah, so we have this. So now let's give it a background color and check it out how much space the home sidebar or home right bar occupied. Okay, so let's give it a background color. So for that I'm gonna give it a black background color for now. And okay, so maybe I'm going to decrease the space for this home sidebar. So for that, let's give it a 0.4 or maybe 0.3. Yeah, so 0.3 would be enough. And now let's go back, and let's go in our sidebar first. So now what we are going to do is, so now, so now what we are going to do is, we are going to build this, left bar for now, this navbar. Okay, so in order to build this, first what we need to do is we need to create a one div again. Let's create a one div, and inside this div I'm going to write a ul. Okay, so I'm going to write a ul, and let's write a li. First let's write a home. Let's write a home. Let's copy this. Home search, explore, real, message, notification, create or profile. Okay, Now let's change our name here. So instead of home, I'm gonna write a search, and instead of home, let's write explore. So now let's refresh this. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is let's go back, and I'm gonna give it a height. Okay, so let's go now sidebar and sidebar.css. Before that, let's go back. Let's go back, and here I'm gonna give it a background color. So I mean a class name. So our class name will be um, sidebar main sidebar main sidebar. Let's copy this and let's go back and let's give it a background color. So background color will black. Let's give it a height. So height will be 100 VH. Overflow will be hidden. Position will be sticky. Or position will be fixed. Okay, so let's give it a width will be 100%, not 100%, 10%, or maybe 20 or 22. Yeah, so 24 would be enough, maybe. Yeah. Okay, so now let's go back. Let's go back. And here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write an image imc tag. Okay, so let's import my image. So first, let's import uh, first maybe we have a home. So let's write a home icon from our icon slash maybe home dot icon, home dot what. So let's go in our icon, and our icon name is home.png. Okay, so let's write a home.png, and let's copy this, and I'm gonna paste it here. Yeah, so I got a home icon. Now let's give it a class name, or maybe I'm gonna write a CSS here. So let's give it a display will be flex. Display will be flex. Yeah, so let's write align item. Align item will be center. Okay, center. Yeah, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this CSS and duplicate it. So let's copy this CSS. Okay, okay. Again, let's copy this and paste it here. Do the same thing for this. Yeah, now let's copy our image and paste it here. So paste on every div because we need a image in every div. Let's save this. And now let's first I'm going to import all these icons and change all the icons in every div. Okay, so let's import our search icons, search. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to import all these images and change the images into every, a div here. Okay, so I import all these icons. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change color for this text. Okay, so let's go here and let's give it a class name. So class name. So our class name will be list text. I'm going to copy this class name and paste it on every list. Now let's copy this and let's give it a style. So I'm gonna write a color which is white, not a black, but I need white. Yeah. So let's write a list style will be none. Yeah. Now let's go back and what I'm going to do is let's give it a margin top which is 20 30 pixel or maybe yeah, so 30 pixel would be enough. So I'm gonna copy this and let's check it out the gap between the icons. Maybe yeah. Okay, so also need to add these icons, so I forget that. So later I'm going to add this. But right now, let's give it a margin top in every div. Okay, so maybe 30 pixel. Yeah, 30 pixel would be enough. Yeah. So now let's go back. Let's go in our top. Let's go in our side. But before that, let's give it a one div again. Let's create a one div, and inside this div let's copy this image icon and I'm gonna paste it here. And instead of home icon, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write a first let's import icon slash let's go and find icon name. So icon name is Instagram logo, and let's give it a name. And yeah, so now let's do the display. Display will be flex. So sorry for that. Flex. Let's check it out. Yeah, so 40, maybe 40, 44 or 45 pixels would be great. Yeah, so 45 pixel would be great. Okay, so maybe not here, but instead of this, what I'm gonna do is let's give it a margin left into the step. So margin left will be 20 pixel. Yeah, maybe 30 or 40. Yeah, so 40 pixel would be enough. So I'm gonna copy this and paste it on every div. Okay, so I got a little bit error on the image. So we are going to solve this image later. Let's write this, and I'm gonna copy this and paste it on every image. Yeah, so our problem is solved. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give it a class name for our image. So let's go to class name. So our class name will be logos. Copy this and paste it on every image. Let's copy this icon name, or let's give it a little bit style. Let's go to margin left, which is 10 pixel maybe. Okay, so let's give it a right. Okay, so let's go back in our sidebar. Yeah, so we need to give it a style on our UL. So now let's copy this. Yeah, so that would be great. Maybe I need to shift this into our left side. Okay, so and also we need to increase the gap between these uh, icons or these nav bars. Actually, we need to go in a div first. So instead of margin left 40, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a margin left 30. Yeah. So do the same thing for all and every div. Okay, so let's go in our another div and do the same thing for this. Instead of 40, I'm going to write 30. Now let's check it out. Still, we have a little bit, margin left problem. So now I'm gonna give it a 20. Yeah, maybe 20 would be enough. Yeah. So again, let's decrease this and make it 20. And now, okay, so I'm gonna, change the margin top for every div. Okay, so let's go back first, and instead of, margin top 45 on our main div, on our sub main div, I'm gonna give it a and make it a 55 or 65. I don't know. So let's go back on. Okay, so let's make it a 45 first, and let's check it out. Yeah, that would be great. But let's go in our navbar. Okay, so let's go in these tips, and instead of margin top uh 30, I'm gonna give it a 40, and do the same thing for every div. Okay, so first let's check it out. Yeah, so 40 would be suitable for this. So let's check. Let's change the margin top on a every div. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna download one image, and then I'm gonna use image here instead of this home logo. So I'm gonna paste it. Maybe we need to give it a style for this. So instead of logo, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write a profile icon. Let's copy this and let's go back in our CSS. And now let's give it a height or maybe width, which is 30 pixel. Okay, so let's give it a height, which is 30 pixel again. Let's give it a border radius, obviously 50%, and object fit will be uh, cover. Okay, so now instead of this image, I'm gonna change this image. So let's select this image and let's copy this image URL. And instead of this URL, I'm gonna change it and paste it here. And let's check it out what it looked like. And yeah, okay, so now Our navbar is almost done. So here I need to make this more option. Okay, so let's copy this. And first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another div here. Let's create another div. Now let's format this code. And now let's create another div. Inside this, I'm going to copy this. Now what I need to do is I'm going to give it a class name. So our class name will be, uh, let's go back, and our class name will be more option, or more icon. Let's go back on our CSS, and let's give it a margin top. So our margin top will be maybe 30, or so instead of the your profile name, I'm gonna write let's write a more, and let's remove this. And instead of this, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna import my more icon, icons slash. Okay, so that's it. Now let's give it a cursor pointer. Let's give it a cursor, will be pointer. Yeah, yeah, so cool. And do the same thing for these list. Okay, so our navbar was finished. Now we are going to build a right bar. So in our right bar, we are going to add a user post, and then what are the things we need to add? So yeah, so we need to add a user post, and then we need to add a suggest for you list and our profile here. Okay, so let's build that. Just what I did here is I just went to a right bar and add a background color inside this right bar container. Okay, so instead of adding a style here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give it a class name. So let's write a main right bar, right bar. Let's copy this, and here I'm gonna save it. And now let's give it a background color. So our background color is black, and then we need to add a default height, which is obviously 100 VH, and then we need to write overflow hidden. or overflow auto. Okay, so now what we need to do is let's go back in our right bar and let's remove this right bar for now. And instead of this, okay, so let's go back in our, yeah. So instead of you know, instead of right bar, now let's go in our component first. And I'm going to create a new component, and the component name is post. So we are going to create a post first. So let's write a post post.csx and post.css. Okay, post.css. Let's write rfc. I'm going to import my css. Let's import my css. So now let's write a, not here, yeah. So let's write a post.css, and then let's go back in our right bar, and I'm going to uh import my post, yeah. Mm. This is my post. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new div. Let's create a new div first. Post. Inside this post, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a one new div. Let's create a new div. And inside this div, what we have is, let's go back. So inside this div, we have one div for our profile and another div for our suggested for you list. Okay, so what I need to do is I'm going to create a one div. Let's create a one div. Okay, in this div, we are going to add our image. Let's write img. Yes, src. Okay, src alt, yeah. And after this, I'm going to create a new div. Let's create a new div. And inside this div, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a p tag. Let's create a p tag. And inside this p tag, we are going to write a username. And we are going to create another p tag. And we are going to use a full username. And after this div, I'm gonna create a new div. Let's create a new div and let's write a p tag. And inside this p tag, let's write a switch text. Okay. Now let's give it a class name, or I'm gonna give it a style directly from here. Okay. So let's write display will be flex, and align item will be center. After this div, I'm going to create a another new div. So inside this div, I'm going to store my suggested for you list. Okay. So first, in our suggested for you list, first I have a p tag. So in our p tag, let's write a suggested for you, and after that, let's create another new div. And inside this div, I'm gonna first copy our previous image. Let's copy our previous image, paste it here. And after this image, After this image, I'm gonna write a new div again, and inside this div, I'm going to add a p tag, and let's write a username, everyone ESAB, and I'm gonna write another p tag, and inside this p tag, let's try to follow you. And let's create another div, and first let's create another div, let's write a p tag, and let's write a follow text. Okay, so now let's go back. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, so from here, I'm gonna give it a style. So let's give it a display. Display will be flex, align item will be center. Okay, so I have a little problem here. Now let's copy, not a p. Yeah, so let's copy this p tag, and for now I'm gonna give it a style on a p tag. Later I'm gonna remove the style from our p tag. So let's try to color. Yeah, so I have a little problem here. I don't know why. Let's give it a width 100%. Okay, so let's now what I'm gonna do is maybe we need to create a two div, and in the two div we need to give it a flex size, and that's how we can maybe solve a problem. So in order to do that, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to remove this style from this div. Okay, yeah. So after that, let's create a new div, and inside this div I'm gonna wrap up post, and I'm gonna create a new div again, and inside this div I'm gonna wrap my suggested for you list. Let's cut it. Now let's format this code and make it a little bit organized. Now let's give it a class name, and our class name will be sub main right bar. Let's copy this. Let's write a display will be flex. Align item will be center. And let's go back and let's give it a style here. And we are going to give it a flex. So for our post, we need a more flex. So let's give it a one. And in our suggested for you list, let's go in our Instagram first and let's check it out. Uh, yeah. So okay. So for our suggested for you list, we need to allocate more size, and for our post we are going to allocate a less space. Okay, so I'm gonna write a 2, and maybe this will solve the problem. Yeah, so that's great. So now what I'm gonna do is, first I'm gonna build let's go here. Okay, so first let's go in our post, and now we are going to add a style, and we are going to add you know text into our post. First we are going to code a post JS, and then we are going to code suggested for you list. Okay, let's remove this post text, and instead of that, what I need to do here is, let's create a new div first, and inside this new div I'm going to I'm going to add I'm going to add a two div, and in our first div let's write an image, and I'm gonna write a p tag juk, then after that we need this 3.3 dot logo. So maybe I already download this logo, so first I'm going to check it out on my. Okay, so we don't have this three dot. Okay, so first let's copy this SVZ. Let's cut this, and I'm going to convert this CSV into a image, a PNG. Now let's import this. More option dot png. Let's go in our icon first. Let's find icon. Let's find icon. Yeah. So I'm going to remove a space from here, and I'm going to copy this. Yeah. Let's save this, and instead of blank, I'm going to write a more options, and let's check it out. Yeah, so I got this icon, and also I need a image. Let's go back and find image. Okay, so I'm gonna copy a image URL instead of image, because downloading it on my system, then using it's a boring process. Instead of that, I just love to use directly. Okay, so not here actually. Oh, sorry for that. um, let's go here, and let's add another image. Yeah, and now uh, let's refresh this. Okay, I don't know why I didn't get that image. Maybe I need to give it a style. So first, let's try to give it a style, and then if that doesn't work, then we need to find a solution. 100%, and our height will be okay. So our height will be 100 VH. Okay, so I got an image, but I don't know why I didn't get image properly. So I'm gonna copy this image URL. So let's copy image URL, and instead of this image, I'm gonna paste it, and let's check it out if it work. Yeah, it worked actually. But now I'm gonna remove this style. Yeah, and let's give it a style again. So our width will be 30. Our width will be 30 pixel. Yeah, and our height will be 30 30 pixel. And I need to write a border radius, which is 150%. And let's write an object fit will be container. Instead of container, I'm gonna yeah. Now first, let's give it a style. Let's give it a display will be flex, and I'm gonna write align item. Align item will be center. Okay, let's write display will be flex, align item will be center, justify content, justify content will be space between, yeah, space between. And now let's go back in our right bar, and I'm going to increase the flex 1.3 maybe. Yeah. Now let's go back in our post container, and after this I'm gonna write image again. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah. Yep. So instead of this image I'm gonna select a new one. Let's copy the image URL, and instead of this image URL I'm gonna change it at this. Yeah, yeah, this one is cool. So let's give it a style. Height will be 100 VH. Okay, 100 VH. Whoa. And let's write a width. Width will be 100%. And object fit will be whatever you want to write. If you want to write a container, then you can write a container. I'm going to use a cover. Okay, so cover is not suitable for this. So let's write a container or okay, contain, and let's remove this height. Instead of this, I'm gonna write auto. Yeah. So let's try to change the image instead of yeah. So I'm gonna select this image, and let's check it out. The what it look like when we use this kind of image size. Yeah. So cool. Yeah. So after that, now what we need to do is we need to add this love comment and share icon. Okay. So let's go back. Let's format this code. After this image, I'm gonna create a new div. So let's create a new div. And inside this div, let's go back. Inside this div, I need to create a new two div. One div for like, comment, or share icons, and another div for this save icon. Okay, so let's create a new div again. Okay, so again, let's create a new div, and inside this first div, let's write an image and again let's write image. Okay, so inside this div I'm gonna write image again, and now I'm gonna import image. So I'm gonna forward this video a little bit because I'm going to import image and I don't want to show everything on this video. So let's, okay, so I successfully import icons, so I'm gonna use these icons. After that we have a comment icon, and after that we have share icon, and here I have a save icon. Save icon. Let's save this, and now let's give it a display flex, and then display flex align item will be center, justify content will be space around. Let's give it a style again. Uh, then display will be flex, align item will be center, and then from here again let's give it a class name, or you can give it a class name. So it's a boring or lengthy process. I'm not going to write a css in a proper way, so you can copy this css and create a new css file and use this style into your css file. Okay, so let's give it a style. So let's give it a display will be flex. Let's give it a align item, not a content, not a content. I need align item, center, display flex align item center, and then let's try to justify content space between. Yeah, maybe let's go here and stuff is space around. I'm gonna write a space between, and maybe it will be more suitable. Okay, so it doesn't affect anything. So now let's give it a class name. Class name will be I logo for what? For post. I'm gonna copy this and paste it here and here. And yeah, so let's copy this. Let's go in our CSS. Let's give it a margin, maybe. I'm not sure. Yeah, let's first let's go here. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so let's remove this and let's go back in our right bar, and then what we need to do is after this icon what we have here is we have a like counter. So let's copy this text and let's go in our post. Let's go in our post, and after this div I'm going to write a p tag, and yeah, let's give it a style. Let's give it a display flex, Yeah, I need to write a merge top, which is a 10 pixel or maybe 15, not a 15, but let's write 0. Okay. And after that, I'm going to, and let's write a p tag. Let's paste this and let's check it out. Okay, again, what we need to do is I'm going to copy this and paste it here. Let's write a text align will be start. Yes, trd start. Or maybe we don't need this display here. Yeah. And now, uh, let's check it out first. Okay. Oh, I need to make a module here. And after this p tag, we need to write a view all comment. Let's write one div, and inside this div I'm going to write a p tag. Let's copy this, and after this let's write another p tag, and inside this p tag let's add a 3 days ago, or a ago, days ago. Let's save this. Okay, now let's give it a style, text align start. Okay, do the same thing for this, text align start, and let's write a font size 11 pixel. Yep. And let's go back. Okay, so let's go here, and I'm gonna copy a little bit css here if possible. Okay, not here. And here let's give it a color a 8 a 8. Okay, so we also need to add a has. Yeah, so I'm going to copy this color ID or color code and paste it here. Yeah, yeah, so that's great. Now what I'm going to do is first let's go back and let's write a margin top, which is 20, and let's go in our home, let's go in our right bar, and let's copy this post again and paste it here. And yeah, so that's cool. Okay, so now let's go and build a suggested for you list. Okay, so we are going to build this now. So let's go here, and first let's give it a style, and I'm gonna give it a margin left, not left, right, margin right, which is actually 20 pixel. Hell you, bro. Okay, so I have a little bit problem here because we need this. Okay, so we need this. We need this into a in we need this in a upper side, but when we add more post, okay, so I'm going to show you. So let's copy this. When I add two posts, the text pushes down here and we have text here now. I need to remove this effect. So in order to, fix this issue, okay, so now what I need to do is in order to remove this effect, let's go in our rightbar.css and I'm gonna remove this align item center and yeah, so we got this text here. Okay, so now let's go back in our sidebar, not sidebar, but right bar. So instead of 1.3, I'm gonna write 1.5 maybe, and let's check it out. Yeah, 1.5 would be more suitable. And now let's go back in our here and let's give it a margin left, margin margin left, not a dot. Let's write a margin left, which is 10, and let's check it out if it work, or maybe 20. Okay, so when I increase this, our post is also decreasing. Yeah, so let's write let's go here and give it a padding. Okay, so let's give it a padding 10 or maybe 20, and instead of 1.5 I'm gonna write 1.7, and this will make, yeah, perfect, perfect, perfect. Yeah, let's give it a style. And let's write a align item which is start. Okay, so this doesn't work out, so let's write a margin left, which margin left, sheet 0. Okay, still doesn't work out, so right now let's forget about that. So here I'm going to use another image, so I need to use a profile image.
So let's go in our post, and I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to paste paste this here. Yeah, yes, yes, yes. And let's give it a style. Margin top will be 0, or let's remove it from here. Style margin top will be 0. Not at 20, but 14. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna increase this image width and height. So instead of 30/30, I'm gonna write a 40. Yeah. And let's give it a style, margin left, text align, start, and let's write a text align, start, and let's give it a style here. Let's write a margin left. Let's write a margin left, maybe 20. And here, let's write a margin top, which is 40. Yeah, or not a 40, so let's write a 30. Okay. Yeah, so 30 would be great. Let's give it a style. Color will be blue. I don't know why this color doesn't work out. So let's write a white. Okay, so let's so again let's write a as 0095 F6. Yeah, so let's give it a front size. Front size. Okay, front size. So our front size will be 13, or maybe 14 or 15. Yeah, 15 would be enough. Let's try to front width. Front weight will be 500. Yeah, and we need to write a cursor pointer. So write a cursor will be pointer. and do the same thing for this. So let's write a cursor will be pointer. Okay, it's pointer. Yeah. And now we need to give it a color for this text. So let's write a color has a it. Yeah. And then what we need to do, that's it for this. So let's go in our suggested for you. Let's write another div here, and I'm gonna remove this. Okay, so let's remove this, and instead of here, I'm gonna write it here. Let's save this, and yeah, so everything is done. Now I need to give it a color. So first, let's give it a style and write a color. So our color code will be has A8. Let's save this, and yeah, and let's write a display. First style, and then let's write a display. Display will be flex. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this image with a style, and instead of this image I'm going to paste another image with a style, and let's write a align item will be okay, so align item will be cent center. Yeah, and let's write a margin top 0 pixel, or let's write it 0, and -10 or -14. Let's give it a style for this name, and for our suggested for you list, let's write a margin left. Let's write a text align. Text align will be start, and yeah. And now I need to write a cursor pointer. Cursor will be pointer. Yeah, that's cool. Again, I need to, give it a color for this follow you text. So let's go here and let's give it a color. And our color code is A9 or A8, A8, A8. And let's check it out. Okay, so maybe I just did a mistake, maybe. A8, 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 yeah. Okay, so again, what I need to do is let's write a margin top, which is a 10 pixel or maybe 10 only. Okay, I have a little problem here. So maybe let's come back. I'm going to remove this margin top. And still we have same kind of problem. Okay, so let's figure out how to solve this. So maybe instead of 0, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a -20 and do the same thing for this. Let's try a -20 and let's check it out. And it work. So now let's copy this. Okay, it is. Now let's check it out. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm going to delete this 3 user. Okay, so let's delete this first. Let's delete this and delete this. And let's check it out. Okay, okay. And after that, what we need to do is we need to add this. But it's not necessary. But if you want to add, you can add. Now I'm thinking what I'm going to do. Well, I'm not going to add this. Okay, so I'm going to change image. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to search Elon. Okay, so our home page is almost done. Maybe we can also, let's remove this first. Maybe we need to also, write these text, maybe. Or maybe I'm going to only write these text. Okay, so let's go back and let's remove this for now. Let's write a p tag. Okay, so let's give it a style. Let's give it a margin left. And I'm going to decrease the font size. And let's write a color. Okay, or maybe 12 or 13. Let's write 13. Okay, so our project is almost done. Now what we need to do is when we click this post, we want to show a module. Okay, so in order to build that, what we need to do is we need to install one package called let's write a npm install react model. So we need to install that. So install it, and let's go in our post. Where is our post? First, let's go in our home right bar, and inside this, oh, sorry for that, not sidebar. We need to go in our right bar. Yeah, so our package is download successfully. Now what we need to do is we need to go in our post, and first we need to import a module. So let's import model from react model. Now what we need to do is I'm going to write here, or maybe not here. So I'm going to write this module here. Okay, and let's give it a class name. So our class name will be model class name for uh, post. Let's copy this and let's go in our css, and here we need to write our css. So first let's write a weight. So I'm going to write a 70. Ten pixel, and let's write a RGBA. Let's save this, and now let's go back. Now post,
and let's try to check it out. Okay, so nothing happened here. Yeah, because we need to add other thing. Let's try to is open, and let's try to model is open. I'm going to copy this, and here I'm going to use state is model and set is model use state false, and then what we need to do is model is open, or what else? Let's write up on request, on request close, which is set model open. So sorry for that. Set model open, which is initially false, and I think almost done. So first let's write out true, and let's check it out. Okay, okay, so now what we need to do is let's go in our comment, like view all comments div, and here what I'm going to do is I'm going to write on click handle handle so model. I'm going to copy this. Okay, so now let's write a set module is open, which is true. Okay, so now if I click this, we got this module. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a cursor here, cursor pointer. Okay, so here let's give it a style first, and our cursor will be pointer. And if I hover this, we got a cursor pointer, and if I click this, we got our module. And in the left side, we are going to show an image, and on the right side, we are going to show a user comment, or you can comment on the post. Okay, so yeah, so now what we are going to do is we are going to implement a like functionality or comment functionality, just like Instagram. So let's visit Instagram first. So it takes a little time to load because my internet was too slow. So if I click this comment, okay, so if I click this comment, we also need to show the same module. Okay, so let's go back, and I'm going to copy this. Let's go in our comment here, and now let's create one div for this image, and let's write this, and now let's check it out. If I click this, we got these modules. Yeah, so I'm going to create a like feature. Okay, so let's download this. Let's download this icon. So I'm going to cut this SVG, and let's download this SVG. Okay, so now let's remove this for now. And now let's go back. Now here, what I'm going to do is let's try to set like. Let's create one user state. And here I'm going to write a like and set like. Okay, so I got an error. This Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to instead of this image, let's write a like and then let's save it and let's check it out. Yeah, and let's go back and I'm going to import a new icon. So let's write on like icon. So if I click this, we got an on like icon. If I click this, yeah, and if again, okay, so let's go back and what I'm going to do is let's write a if and else statement. If like is called to like icon, then we need to do this else. Let's try to set like, which is a like icon. Let's save this and let's go back. If I click this, yeah. Okay, so our like and dislike functionality is working absolutely fine. So we can click comments and we got a module. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to, design this module. Okay, so let's go and try to add this stuff. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to add some of the items on these modules. So in the left side we are going to add image, and in the right side we are going to use comment. So let's create one div. Uh, well, we need a two div, one div for image and other div for our other items. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this image and let's check it out what it looked like. Yeah. So now what I'm going to do is let's go here, and now here what we need to do is let's go on our Instagram first. So first we have a profile image or profile name, then we have a comment, and in the last we have a feature to add comment. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a two div. Again, let's create one div, and inside this div, let's add one image first. So here I'm going to copy this. I'm going to copy this, and let's give it a name. Okay, so we got this image. Now, okay, let's create a one div again. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a flex for these two div. So let's give it a style for this image. Maybe I'm going to write a width will be 100%, and our height will be 70 VH maybe, or maybe width will be also 80 or something like that. Yeah, and height will be 80 again. Okay, so 80 is not good idea. So let's try to height 70 and also width 70%, and maybe that would be cool. Yeah. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write a object fit will be cover. So I'm gonna remove this flex size. Okay, so let's remove this flex size, and yeah, so removing flex size is I feel necessary. And our background color will be black. Okay, so let's go back. Our background color will be black. Yeah, So let's go back in our post and in our module. And here I'm gonna give it a style. Let's give it a style for both. Let's give it a padding left, which is 10 pixel maybe. Yeah. And now let's give it a style for this div. And I'm gonna give it a uh, padding. Let's give it a margin bottom 10 minus 10. So here we also have this three dot icon. So we also need to add this. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this. Let's wrap this div. I'm going to copy this and paste it here. Let's give it a one div, and inside this div, I'm gonna give it a image, and let's import my icon. Let's copy this more option icon, and here I'm gonna write a more option, and we got that. Let's write a justify content. Will be a space between, or maybe space around. Space around. No, space between will be suitable for this. Or maybe let's go now post CSS, and instead of width 70, I'm gonna decrease this and make it 60 or 60. Yeah. And after this profile, what do we have here? Yeah. So now after that, let's go back. Let's go back now post JS. After this div, let's write one div again. And inside this div, what I'm going to do is let's write another div, and let's write a p tag, image. And let's go back, and I'm going to copy this
Let's save this and let's go back. Yeah. And after this image, I'm gonna write one div again, and inside this div, I'm going to add a p tag, and here, let's write a, yep, let's give it a style. So our display will be flex. Okay, so let's go in our image. Let's give it a margin left, which is 10 to 20, 30. Yeah, so 30 would be enough. And then let's go back in our image. Let's write a margin left 10, or maybe minus 10. Let's write a padding left, maybe not here. So let's go back in our this div and let's give it a style for this div. Let's give it a margin left. Yeah. Now let's go back in our image again, and instead of 80, I'm gonna decrease this and make it a 70 or 60. I don't know, 50. Let's try a 60 maybe. Yeah. Okay, so now after this text or after this comment, I'm gonna add another p tag. So okay, so another p tag, and let's write a one day d. And for this, I'm gonna give it a color. So our color will be has uh A8 color. Okay, so A8 color. Yeah, so let's write our margin top, which is 10 minus 10. Yeah, and let's go back in our image again,
And instead of 60, I'm gonna write a 70 again, or maybe 80. And now what I'm going to do is, so maybe we have a little bit problem in the image because image size is not properly styled. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove this pixel kind of thing from here, and then what I'm going to do is, let's write a position. Position will be absolute. Position will be absolute. And after that, let's go back here, and instead of margin 10, instead of margin def 10, I'm gonna write a 40. And yeah, it worked actually. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, paste it here. Yeah, it worked now. And again, let's paste it here. Now we have three comments. And now what I'm going to do is let's go here and try to give it a height. Let's give it a style first, and let's write a height, which is maybe for now this is only a testing, but it doesn't work out. So let's check it out. Check it out. Yeah. Let's copy this again. Okay, so here I have these images. Okay, so I add a position which is fixed because of this image, just fixed on one place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this position. So let's remove this position from here. And yeah, so still we have this image problem. So maybe later we are going to solve this problem. But right now, let's do some of the necessary thing. Uh, let's write a, instead of 40, I'm going to write a 20. Yeah. And do the same thing for others. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete some of the div from here. So let's remove this div. Let's remove this div. And then let's copy this. And let's check it out. Yeah, it actually worked. Okay, so let's go in our CSS, and what I'm going to do is let's go in our overflow auto and remove this, and our auto scrolling was removed from our uh, module. So let's go back, and let's yeah, so let's give it a height for this. First, let's declare height here. So let's give it a height, which is 70 VH. And here, let's give it a style and let's give it a height here. So our height will be 20 VH. Let's check it out if it work or not. And if it doesn't work out, then we need to find a solution. And if it work out, then we need to increase the height. Let's try to overflow, auto, auto, and let's check it out. Yeah, yeah, it worked. Now let's increase this height. So instead of 20, I'm gonna write 50. And let's check it out. Okay, so 50 would be enough for now. Let's go back and let's check it. Okay, so 50 would be enough. And after this div, what I'm going to do is after this div, in in my another div here, what I need to do is let's go back, and here I need to write this like not yeah. So first we need to create another div, and inside this div we need to store, or we need to add the icons, then we need to add likes, and then we need to add comment, input. Okay, so first let's create one div again, and inside this div what we are going to do is we are going to uh, write another div, and let's create another div. So in this div what we are going to do is we are going to write an image. We need a three images for like, comment, and share. Instead of this, let's write a like icon, and then we need a comment icon, and then we need a share icon. Share icon. Let's save this and let's check it out. Okay, so here we have. So here I didn't get a comment icon. Maybe I just add some other thing here. So co yum yum. Okay. Okay, so let's forget this right now. I have a spelling mistake on the comment icon, but you can improve this. So let's check it out. And after this div, in this div, I'm gonna import another image, and here let's write a more, or no, not a more, maybe a save icon. Yeah. And now let's give it a style. So our display will be flex. Let's give it a flex, and our justify content will be space around. Oh, no, 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 nobody, nobody. Let's check it out first. Okay. Then in this div, let's give it a style first, and let's write a display. Display will be flex, and now I need to write a justify content will be space between, and then let's write align item, which is a center. Yeah, I have a little bit problem here. So right now, let's remove this. Okay. Let's give it a style here. So our style will be margin left. So let's write a margin left, which is a 10, and do the same thing for other image. Uh-huh. Nane. Antetiಗೆ. ಅದು وين نهني ما وين نهني ايه منظر. So do the same thing for these three images and let's check it out. Okay, so now I need to add a margin top. So let's give it a style in here and let's write a margin top. Margin top will be 10. Yeah, and do the same thing for this div. Let's write a margin top which is 10. Yeah, and let's go here and let's do the margin left which is 20. Yeah, 20 is great. And here instead of 10 I'm gonna write a 13 and 13 and 13. Yeah, and we also need to add a cursor pointer, so let's write a cursor will be pointer, cursor pointer, and I'm going to copy this style and paste it on our two images. Yeah, so after this icons, what we need to do is we need to add a like counter. So after this, I need to add like counter. For that, I'm going to write a p tag, and inside this p tag, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this and paste it here. Okay, and maybe here, what I'm going to do is let's give it a style, and let's write a margin left, which is margin left, which is 20, or maybe 25. Okay, so let's go back, and here I'm gonna give it a margin left 0. Yeah, and here I'm gonna give it a margin left, which is minus 10 maybe, or not a 10, let's give it a 15 or 16 maybe. Yeah, 15 would be enough. Okay, so after this like, now what we need to do is we need to add this text again. So let's go back, and after this p tag I'm going to create another p tag, and let's give it a style. First, let's write a font size which is 11, and let's write a color which is has a8. Yeah, and let's give it a margin top for these both p tag, margin top which is 10, and let's see, maybe instead of margin top 14 I'm going to write a minus 14. Okay, so 14 is not good, so let what the hell, so let's write a 4 and let's see. Okay, so maybe 0, my margin top 0 would be great. Yeah, and do the same thing for this 1 day ago text. So let's write a margin top, which is 0, and let's see. Okay, let's write a 10, maybe 20. Okay, it doesn't work because I need to give it a minus 10, and now it worked absolutely fine. Now what I'm going to do is uh, I need to add a comment input on the uh, module. So in our comment input, I have this emoji icon. Maybe I download this icon or not, but let's check it out if I download this emoji icon or not. So let's go in our icon first. So here is our icon folder. Yeah, so here is our icon folder, and now I have this emoji. Okay, so first let's import our emoji, and then what we need to do is let's after this div, let's create another div, and inside this div, what we need to do is we need to add emoji comment input and post button. Okay, so now let's give it a one image. Let's write a emoji emoji maybe, and inside this div let's add our input, and after this div we need to add a button, which is let's write a p tag instead of button. I'm going to use p tag, or let's, yeah, so p tag will work. So let's write a post, and let's give it a style here. So our display will be flex, our justify content will be space between. Okay, so the image is not that great, but I will just I will style this later, but right now let's check it out. We have a little bit problem here, so we need to give it a margin left, then resize this image, and yeah. So in our post, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a style, and let's add cursor. Cursor will be pointer. Yeah, cursor will be pointer, and let's resize our image. First, let's go here and let's give it a margin left, which is maybe 30. Yeah, and now let's resize this image. Okay, so now let's write 30, and our height will be again 30. Let's check it out. Okay, so still we need to decrease this size. So maybe I'm gonna write a 20 or 25. First, let's check it out 20, and if this isn't suitable, then we are going to add 25. Yeah, so let's increase this and make it 25 or 24. Yeah, maybe 24 would be great. Yeah. Oh, in our profile, we need to show profile just like this, and then we need to scroll. Okay, so we are implement this feature later. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a div. Okay, so let's add this image into a div, and let's give it a style. And I'm going to give it a flex for every div. Okay, so let's give it a flex, which is 1 for this. And let's give it a style, and let's give it a flex, which is 2. Let's give it a 1 div, and what the hell? Let's give it a style. So our style will be flex will be 1 again, and let's check it out. Okay, so instead of 2, I'm gonna increase it and make it a 3. Oh, and give it a style here. Let's give it a width. So our width will be, I'm going to write 100% right now. Let's first let's check. Okay, so for our emoji, I'm going to decrease this flex. Instead of this, I'm going to write 0.4, uh, 0.4, maybe 0.2 or something like that. Yeah, 0.2, and our for our post, 1 would be enough. And also let's write a align item will be center. I need this text here, but let's we are going to figure out this later. Or maybe I'm going to write a margin top, which is 10, not 10, maybe minus 10 or minus 20, something like this. So let's write a 16, and let's give it a margin left, which is 10, or let's give it a 30, 50, I don't know, 70. Let's give it a 0.5 or 0.3. Yeah, and let's go in our text, and here I'm gonna write a background color. Background color will be black. Yeah, and we need to remove the borders. Let's remove the border, will be none. And then let's write a placeholder, add add a comment. Okay, add a comment. Okay. Instead of input, maybe I'm gonna write a text area. Does it work? Okay, so now let's write a color. Okay, color will be white. And yeah, yeah, so our text input is also done. Now let's go back, and maybe I'm going to increase the height for this div. Okay, so let's go back, and here instead of 30 I'm gonna write a 40 maybe, and let's check it out. Okay, let's give it a margin top. 30 or yeah, maybe we can also increase the height. I tried, but it doesn't work out, so let's check it out again. Yeah, yeah, I got it, got it, got it. Not here, maybe. I need to increase height here. Yeah, and then what we need to do is let's remove this, or maybe uh let's go back again, and 60 is not great, for 55 or something like that. Yeah, 55. Yeah, and let's go in our post text, and in our post text I'm going to change the color. Okay, so our color code will be, okay, so our color code will be, I need to figure out. So let's go in our Instagram and then inspect, then find a color. Okay, so let's, where is our color code? Let's go back again. Okay, 0095, 0095, F6 maybe, and let's So let's go back and yeah, cool. And let's write a, let's give it a front weight. So our front weight will be 600 or something like that. Yeah, cool. Now let's make it a like feature. Okay, so let's copy this handle like, and in this div, let's write a on click handle like, and instead of uh, oh, not here, not here. Sorry for that. In our emoji, not emoji, but in our like text. Okay, so let's write a div. Okay, well, okay, so let's remove this. And yeah, so instead of this like icon, I'm gonna write a like, and let's okay, I got a error, buddy. Mm, okay, then what I need to do is let's remove this div, or can we write on click on the image or not? So let's check it out. Yeah, it worked. Okay, like dislike. Yeah. Okay, so now your work is you need to remove this scroll bar. Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, so that's it for this video. In the next video, we are going to build a search page, explore page, login page, or sign up page.